Imagine walking onto your unit, coffee in hand, ready to tackle your shift, only to be pulled aside by your manager and told you legally cannot work today or tomorrow because your nursing license expired at midnight. It's a terrifying thought, right? You're looking at immediate job disruption, lost income, and potentially a massive legal headache. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to ensure your Missouri nursing career stays completely on track. If you're a nurse practicing in the Show Me state, this info is absolutely crucial for your career stability, so let's get into it.
So, what actually happens if your license lapses tomorrow? Well, the harsh reality is that Missouri offers absolutely zero grace period. None. If you miss that deadline, your practice has to halt immediately. You can't provide patient care, you aren't earning your income, and suddenly you're sitting in an office explaining a pretty major professional lapse to your boss. We're going to make sure that never happens to you by completely demystifying the whole renewal process. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. Missouri license renewal basics. 2. The step-by-step renewal process. 3. Costly mistakes and penalties. 4. Special circumstances like lapsed licenses. And 5. Tips, resources, and updates. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Missouri License Renewal Basics. First things first, you've got to know your dates and rates. If you are a registered nurse, your magic date is April 30th of every odd-numbered year, and the fee is $85. For licensed practical nurses, your deadline shifts to May 31st of every even-numbered year with a $77 fee. And just a quick side note, those fees actually include a small educational surcharge that goes directly toward nursing education in the state. So, whatever you do, memorize your specific cycle. Now, get ready for some fantastic news. You see that giant zero? That is exactly how many continuing education hours, or CEUs, Missouri currently requires for standard, active RN, and LPN renewals. I know, right? It's a massive relief. Unlike a lot of other states that make you scramble for 30 or 40 hours of continuing competency at the last minute, Missouri totally streamlines this. Just keep in mind, if you hold an advanced practice license or an inactive license, you've got different rules. But for standard active nurses, you get to skip the CEU hustle entirely. Moving right along to Section 2, the step-by-step renewal process. Getting this done is actually super straightforward and entirely digital. First, you'll log into the portal using the PIN they send in your renewal notice. Then, navigate over to My Licenses and click that little eye icon to kick off the application. Now, Step 4 is absolutely critical. You have to answer legal screening questions about criminal history or out-of-state disciplinary actions. If you answer yes to any of those, you'll need to upload a detailed, notarized statement. Finally, just pay your non-refundable fee online, and you're golden. You might be wondering where exactly you're doing all this. Well, Missouri actually stopped issuing those physical wallet cards a while ago. Instead, they use MOPRO, the Missouri Professional Registration Online Portal. Think of it as the digital hub for your entire professional existence. It handles your identity verification and safely processes your fees. And the best part? Once your renewal process is here, your active status is instantly pushed to the national database, meaning your employer can instantly verify you are legally cleared to hit the floor. Let's transition to Section 3, Costly Mistakes and Penalties. This is where things get real. We really need to talk about the danger zone here, because making a careless error on your renewal application can completely derail your career. Falsifying any information on that form leads to severe disciplinary action by the Missouri regulatory boards. To show you just how serious this is, let's look at a real-world case involving a licensed professional named Valerie A. Brown. She failed to maintain her required documentation, but swore under penalty of law that she actually had.
Now, Valerie was actually a dental professional, but listen closely. All the professional registration boards in Missouri operate under the exact same strict statutory authority. Because she affirmed meeting requirements that a random audit later proved she hadn't, the board took swift action. Her license was slapped with a grueling 2-year probation, over a checked box.
And probation isn't just a slap on the wrist. Failing to follow the rules transforms a simple 5-minute renewal into a multi-year monitoring nightmare. Look at these penalties. She had to make up her delinquent requirements, complete an additional 21 penalty hours, and those had to be strictly in a classroom setting, pay out of pocket to take a state jurisprudence exam, and even accept unannounced workplace visits from state investigators. The takeaway here? Never ever rush through those screening questions, and absolutely do not falsify a single detail. Okay, Section 4. Special circumstances, specifically lapsed licenses. Let's put this into stark contrast.
Because remember, there is no grace period in Missouri. An active, on-time renewal, it costs you $85, takes a few minutes online, and causes zero disruptions to your life. But a lapsed license, that triggers an immediate, hard stop to your practice. We're talking lost income, sudden mandatory deep dives into your background, and some highly uncomfortable interventions with your employer.
If you actually practice on an expired license, the hoops you have to jump through are intense. You can't just pay and be done. You have to submit a formal reinstatement application, pay a $50 late penalty stacked on top of your back fees, and completely redo the MACCHUS state and federal fingerprinting process. And honestly, the worst part? Your employer has to officially swear in a notarized statement on company letterhead exactly when you stopped working. It is a massive professional embarrassment that you want to avoid at all costs.
Let's pivot to some good news and proactive steps in Section 5, Tips, Resources, and Updates. Keeping this simple timeline in your head will completely eliminate the stress of the renewal cycle. First, you'll start getting renewal notice emails 3 months prior to your expiration date. Second, and this is huge, you have a legal obligation to update your address or name changes within 30 days of a move. Why does that matter? Because if you owe state taxes, your license can be suspended automatically. And if your address is wrong, you won't even get the warning. Finally, make sure you submit your renewal at least 3 business days prior to expiration. Don't wait until 11:59 p.m. on the deadline day, or the system might not process it in time.
The absolute best thing you can do for yourself today is enroll in Nursis eNotify. The Missouri Board of Nursing strongly urges you to use this. It's a totally free national database system that sends you automated email and text reminders when it's time to renew. Plus, it alerts you if your multi-state compact status changes or if someone tries to fraudulently use your license in another state. Seriously, it's the ultimate way to put your license protection on autopilot.
Now, before we wrap up, a quick disclaimer. While we've given you a super comprehensive roadmap today, based on the current source material, regulatory laws absolutely do update and change. You always need to verify your unique situation and current requirements directly with the Missouri Board of Nursing. The digital systems out there designed to protect the public are monitoring closer than ever before. Your nursing license is literally your livelihood. So, in an era where a single forgotten deadline can trigger a full-blown state investigation, are you leaving your career up to chance, or are you going to put it on autopilot? Thanks so much for learning with us today.